Buena sociedad, estamos en el capítulo número 2 de Erannorth Renaissance Early Access. Vámonos. Ruta del hombre lobo.
Mist curls around your feet as you approach Landford, the path softened by recent rains. Ahead, the shattered remains of a carriage sprawl across the road, its wheels torn apart, spokes jutting into the air like the limbs of a fallen soldier. The horses are nowhere to be found, likely having bolted or, worse, taken by whatever caused this wreckage. The air is heavy with the tang of iron, blood smears the interior of the carriage and splatters across the ground, leading like a macabre guide into the shadowed woods bordering the road. Broken glass glints among the debris. The carriage, though devastated, may still hold secrets. You begin a meticulous search, combing through the debris for anything that may have been overlooked. A closer inspection of the carriage's interior reveals a hidden compartment beneath the seat, cleverly designed to escape a cursory search. It is empty now, but its presence suggests that the Inquisitor was carrying something valuable or dangerous enough to require such secrecy. Scattered within the wreckage, papers flutter in the breeze. Some bear the official seals of Duvan, likely documents of passage or missives of some importance. Beneath a dislodged panel, you find a small, locked strongbox. Its exterior is marred but intact. The lock is sturdy, a clear sign that whatever is inside holds great importance. The carriage, though devastated, may still hold secrets. You begin a meticulous search, combing through the debris for anything that may have been overlooked. A closer inspection, as you sift through the scattered papers, most are illegible, their messages lost to hasty erasures and redactions. Amid the confusion of the scattered documents, you manage to piece together that the Inquisitor was deeply involved in an ongoing murder investigation in Landford. The fragmented sentences and obscured details hint at a series of grim events. One document stands out, a missive from a higher authority, commanding the captain of Landford's guard to provide unwavering assistance to the Inquisitor. As you sift through the scattered papers, most are illegible, their messages. With cautious steps, you follow the trail to its grim conclusion. Before you lies the corpse of a man, partially concealed by the underbrush, his lifeless eyes fixed on the canopy above. His attire, though once fine, is torn and stained with blood, indicating his significance. The disturbed ground around him shows signs of a struggle, with trampled foliage and blood painting both leaves and earth. Investigate the scene. In the throes of death, his hands clutch a broken amulet, its fragments shimmering with a faint, unnatural light. Nearby, an open leather-bound journal's pages flutter as if caught in a breeze that isn't there. The writing inside may reveal his identity and the circumstances of his tragic end. His sword and a small, intricately carved box, now empty, rest beside him. As you carefully turn the pages of the journal, the script within reveals that the deceased was indeed an inquisitor from the capital, Duvan, Sir Augustin Bronwell. He was journeying to Landford with a grim purpose, to investigate a series of ritualistic murders that had plagued the town. The entries speak of his determination to uncover the truth behind these heinous acts and to evaluate the local guard's competence in handling such dark matters. His notes are meticulous, detailing his plans, suspicions, and fears, hinting at a deep-seated concern that the events in Landford might be a symptom of a larger, more sinister plot. As you carefully turn the pages of the journal, the script within reveals that the deceased was indeed an inquisitor from the capital, Duvan. You kneel beside the small, intricately carved box, its craftsmanship suggesting importance beyond mere appearance. Opening it reveals nothing but the whispers of what once was. Perhaps tokens of significance or tools of a trade now gone. Its emptiness speaks volumes, hinting at a loss or a removal in haste. The box, with its delicate carvings, seems to have been a personal item, possibly holding items of power or sentiment now missing, leaving only questions in their absence. You kneel beside the small, intricately carved box, its craftsmanship
Vale,
suggesting
tenemos
importance
en
beyond
la
mere
parte
appearance. Opening it reveals nothing but the whispers of what once was.
uno de herbalismo,
Perhaps
dos de
tokens of
herbalismo,
significance or
dos de
tokens of trade now
supervivencia
gone.
y
Its
tres
energy dictates
de
volumes,
primal.
hinting at
Puedo
loss or a removal of
intentar
use.
usar este de
The
aquí,
box,
survival,
with its delicate
a ver
carvings,
si tengo
seems
suerte
to have been a personal
y el
item.
de esto no se calla. No sé por qué está hecho así. Vale, vamos a intentar hacer esto. Bien. Ahora lee, cabrón.
The direction of the tracks leads deeper into the forest, toward an unnaturally dense thicket. Broken branches and disturbed foliage suggest a hurried retreat. With the trail before you weaving through the dense underbrush, the forest's silence feels oppressive, a stark reminder of the dangers lurking within. The anticipation of a confrontation weighs heavily as you advance, every sense alert to the slightest sound or movement. The woods seem to hold their breath, the usual chatter of wildlife eerily absent. As you near the wooden lodge, the grim expectation of a fight gives way to a chilling discovery. The lodge, expected to be a hive of bandit activity, instead houses a scene of silent horror. Inside, 3 bodies lay devoid of life, their pallor ghastly in the dim light that filters through the windows. The absence of blood, without a mark upon their flesh, speaks of an unseen, unnatural force at play. Upon closer inspection, you notice some strange, puncture-like wounds on the necks of the bodies. This revelation aligns with the lack of blood and the eerie circumstances surrounding their deaths, suggesting that these individuals fell prey to a creature of the night. For some reason, your inner logic rebels at the idea, trying to dismiss it as nonsensical, yet another part of you finds it makes perfect sense.
Sí, porque soy un hombre lobo y los vampiros existen. Survival, destroy the bodies with fire.
You gather wood and flammable materials to cremate the bodies thoroughly, leaving no chance for their return. Fire cleanses, ensuring that their rest is final. You gather wood and flammable materials to cremate the bodies thoroughly, leaving no chance for their return. Fire cleanses. Your senses alert you to a change in air pressure, a sudden chill seeping into the room. Whirling around, your heart races as you glimpse a dark, hooded figure leaping toward you from the shadows. Acting on instinct, you dive to the side. As you roll to your feet, you unsheath your weapon and raise it, ready. The room falls into an unnatural stillness, broken only by your ragged breathing. Slowly and cautiously, you begin to back away from the spot where the creature was last seen. Seconds stretch into minutes as adrenaline surges through your veins, sharpening every sense. A rustling sound behind you sends a chill down your spine, but when you turn, there is nothing. Resume your journey. Resume your journey.
Vaya. Vamos a hacer la misión secundaria mientras podamos. Vamos a hacer esto de aquí, explorar, porque son eventos que puedo ganar cosas en estos eventos. A ver. Toma. 8 de experiencia.
As the gates of Landford close behind you, the city's vibrant energy immediately envelopes you and Jocelyn. The streets bustle with activity, merchants shout their wares, and townsfolk go about their routines, creating a vivid contrast to the recent quiet and solemn days. Jocelyn, taking in the sights and sounds, turns to you with curiosity. "Have you been to Landford before?" she inquires, eyes scanning the lively streets. I've come here before for supplies with my mother, Jocelyn shares, a touch of nostalgia in her tone. But we never stayed long. Her demeanor then becomes resolute. There's a temple of dried Elon here, she mentions solemnly. I'd like to visit and pray for my mother. Jocelyn offers a faint smile and shakes her head. Thank you. But I need to do this on my own. You can find us a room at the Golden Sparrow Inn, and we can catch up later there. Her voice softens as she speaks. Her thoughts seem to drift, already settling on the temple and the reason she came.
Una habitación.
Jocelyn pauses, then laughs softly, a brief moment of levity in her otherwise solemn demeanor. Yes, a room. As in separate rooms, she clarifies with a playful smirk. As Jocelyn departs for the temple, you're left in the heart of Landford, the city's life swirling around you. Merchants, townsfolk, and travelers all contribute to the vibrant tapestry of the city. Occasionally, NPC companions will leave
Que
your
dice de
party
que
temporarily to
alguna
pursue
vez
their own
los
goals.
NPC,
Jocelyn will rejoin you in a
los
future
compañeros
story.
NPC van a dejarme temporalmente porque van a perseguir sus propios caminos y que volverá a unirse en una misión futura.
Seeking directions to the Golden Sparrow Inn, you approach an elderly vendor, who cheerfully points you down the street, instructing you to turn left at the fountain to find the inn marked by a large sign with a golden sparrow. Landford's vibrant atmosphere, a cultural mosaic, unfolds as you follow his directions. Upon reaching the bustling fountain and turning left, you soon spot the inn, just as described, with its welcoming and well-maintained exterior. Stepping into the Golden Sparrow, you're greeted by the warm, inviting atmosphere, a sharp contrast to the cool evening outside. The common room is rustically elegant, with sturdy wooden furniture and walls adorned with local artwork and tapestries that narrate the town's culture and history. The gentle light from the fireplace softens the room, creating a cozy ambience. Patrons are scattered around, some dining quietly, others engaged in soft conversation, all surrounded by the inviting aroma of herbs and spices. The innkeeper, Olivia, approaches with a friendly demeanor and kind eyes. Good evening. Welcome to the Golden Sparrow. I'm Olivia. How may I assist you? She asks, her warm smile immediately putting you at ease. Describe them to me, she prompts, her tone hinting at a multitude of untold tales. You nod, vividly portraying your friends with words. I believe I saw your friend Janice, she begins, buying supplies at the market a couple of days ago. Relief and concern wash over you at her revelation. If it's him, he should be easy to find, she adds, her brow furrowing slightly. Olivia leans in, her voice dropping to a whisper as if to confide a secret. Well, he caused quite a commotion. It's rare to see someone of his stature involved in a market scuffle. He punched a merchant over a disagreement. Caused quite the uproar, indeed. Do you know what happened next? He was arrested, Olivia continues, her expression softening with sympathy. The city guard doesn't tolerate disturbances, especially physical ones. They apprehended him swiftly. I'm sorry, but if Janice is in the city lockup, that's probably the best place to start. What about Claire? She's about this tall, with auburn hair that's shoulder length and a bit wavy. Her green eyes stand out, sharp and bright. She's got high cheekbones and a defined jawline. Carries herself with confidence. No, sorry. You pause for a moment, the words catching in your throat. One more question, if you don't mind. Rayla. Shoulder-length red hair, green eyes like her sister Claire. About this tall. Fit, slender. You force yourself to focus, pushing the memory aside. She disappeared some time ago, and I'm trying to find her. Your voice falters as the memory of Rayla's last moments flashes through your mind. The void swallowing her. The way it felt like watching her fall into certain death. The shock and helplessness still cling to you, as if she's slipping away all over again. Have you by any chance seen her? You finally ask, already knowing the answer but daring to hope. Olivia's expression softens, her eyes flickering with empathy and reluctance. She sets the cloth down and leans in slightly as if to shield her words from the bustling noise of the inn. I'm sorry, she begins, her voice gentle but steady. I haven't seen Rayla here. But don't lose hope. The roads have been dangerous, and it might take time, but that doesn't mean she's not out there. Maybe she just took another path that didn't lead here. Janice might have information about Claire, and his unusual behavior in the market could be a clue in itself. Renting a room can wait. You thank Olivia again for her help, her local knowledge proving invaluable in navigating the complexities of Landford. As you leave the Golden Sparrow, the city's streets await, each corner and shadow potentially hiding answers or further questions. Return to the world map.
Aquí es donde tengo que ir.
The stern facade of the Landford Guard barracks looms ahead, its foreboding presence a stark reminder of the city's stringent order. Approaching the entrance, you are met by a figure whose bearing and uniform mark him as more than a mere guard, a captain, perhaps, his demeanor exuding authority and seasoned experience. The captain looks at you with a mixture of suspicion and respect. Official business, you say? We weren't informed of any visits. Do you have documentation to support this? He asks, his tone laced with a hint of skepticism yet maintaining professional decorum. You reach into your pocket and pull out the letter you found on the deceased inquisitor. The missive commands the captain of Landford's guard to provide unwavering support to the bearer. Forgive me, Inquisitor, he says, his voice now filled with respect. I had no idea it was you. Please, come inside. He leads you through the gates and into the barracks, where rows of guards stand at attention. They all look at you with a mix of curiosity and fear, aware that an inquisitor is not someone to be taken lightly. As you walk through the barracks, the captain explains their daily routines and duties. You pretend to listen intently. Finally, you reach his office, and he gestures for you to take a seat. I must apologize again for my initial skepticism, he says as he sits across from you. We've had our fair share of imposters trying to gain access to our facility.
Vaya. ¿Qué pasaría si supiera? Por cierto, esto de aquí, esta parte de aquí es nueva porque la primera vez que jugué no encontré ni el carromato, ni los objetos, ni la escena del vampiro que me asaltó. No encontré nada de eso.
I understand, you reply calmly. It's important to remain vigilant against such threats. The captain nods in agreement before continuing, a hardened glint in their eyes. Is there anything specific that brings your visit here today? Yes, you reply confidently, sitting up straight and meeting the captain's gaze directly. I have urgent business with one of your prisoners. Janus is his name, if I recall correctly. He was involved in a market brawl, but I need his help in a matter of utmost importance. I'll be taking him into custody. You can talk to him, of course, but he'll be staying put until the Magister reviews his case and he pays for the damages he caused. Is he by any chance connected to the murders? The captain likely refers to the murders you read about in Sir Bronwell's journal. The captain's expression softens slightly, but his stance remains firm. Assault charges are serious. Normally, we wouldn't consider releasing someone so hastily. However, he pauses, glancing around to ensure privacy. Our cells are near capacity, and the commander has been seeking a solution that doesn't involve releasing the more dangerous elements back onto the streets. There's a situation that requires a subtle approach. A series of thefts has been plaguing the merchant district. It's a delicate matter, one that demands finesse rather than the usual force. We suspect it's the handiwork of the Thieves Guild, and it takes up resources we could dedicate to helping you with your own investigation. This charade has already gone too far, and pushing things further could backfire, blowing my cover story. Of course. I'll get to the bottom of this. Can you tell me more about these thefts, Captain? You inquire, appearing eager to get started. The captain sighs, his frustration with the situation evident in his demeanor. It started a few weeks ago, seemingly minor items. Jewelry, small trinkets, and other valuables. Then it escalated to more valuable objects. More recent targets even had signs of forced entry. We suspect the guild, but we haven't been able to gather any evidence. The victims are reluctant to speak with us, afraid of further retribution. We need this matter resolved as soon as possible and discreetly before it escalates further. I am sure they'll talk to me, you reassure him. When can I take custody of the prisoner? The captain gives a final nod, signaling the end of the negotiation. I'll make the arrangements for Janus's release. And of course, we are at your disposal, sir. We value the gravity of this situation and are committed to supporting your efforts fully. I'll have my staff begin the paperwork for Janus's release immediately. Your assistance is equally appreciated. Return to world map.
Míralo. Janus.
Inside the barracks, the heavy clang of the cell door echoes through the stone corridor as it swings open, revealing Janus Bone Thrusher. He stands up, his imposing figure almost filling the doorway. His expression shifts from stark surprise to relief as he sees you. The last time Janus saw you, you were both in the collapsing ruins, a situation from which escape seemed improbable. By all accounts, he might have believed that you perished along with Rayla. By the gods, you're alive. Janus exclaims, his voice a mixture of shock and relief. I thought you were done for back in those ruins. What in the world happened to you? As you embrace Janus, the tension in his shoulders eases. It's a moment of genuine camaraderie, a physical reassurance of your survival and unspoken bond. After a hearty pat on the back, you step back, ready to discuss the situation at hand. Janus's concern quickly shifts to another matter, his expression turning grave. Did Rayla make it too? Have you seen her? He asks urgently. His question is loaded with worry. Janus nods solemnly, taking in every detail of your story. Then we have more reasons to find them both, he says, his voice carrying a newfound determination. If you could survive that, they could have too. We have to hold on to that hope. As you lead him out of his cell, the heavy door closing with a definitive clang behind you, you quickly brief him on the current situation and the conditions of his release. Janus' face hardening with the mention of the Thieves' Guild. The Thieves' Guild? Huh. That's a dangerous game, he says, his voice low and serious. But if it means getting out of the cell and helping you, I'm in. I owe you one for coming back for me. Just remember, any trouble and it's on both of us. We need to approach this tactfully, you remind him. Got it, Janus replies, a serious tone underlining his commitment. I'm not keen on making more waves than necessary. Let's get to work and see what we can uncover. And after this, we'll find out what happened to Rayla and Claire. He pauses for a moment, running a hand through his hair, then adds with a wry grin, but first, mate, I'm in dire need of a proper bath and a decent bed. Can't tackle mysteries while smelling like a bog and feeling like I've been sleeping on rocks. There is a cozy inn nearby, you say, the Golden Sparrow Inn. Golden Sparrow Inn, Ed. Janus raises an eyebrow, his grin widening. Sounds like just the place I need. Lead the way, friend. As you and Janus make your way through the streets of Landford, the city's vibrant life unfolds around you. The bustling markets, the chatter of townsfolk, and the distant melody of a lute player create a tapestry of everyday life. Leave.
Tengo un SP. Y él tiene los dos. Veis que hay dos de estos. Hay uno verde y otro azul por detrás. Significa que tiene un overview y un perk. Vale, voy a aumentar la percepción a 4 más 1. Y vamos a ver qué perks hay disponibles para mí. Puedo obtener retractable Klaus. Pero para qué si voy a... voy a... Bestial Strength. Physical damage más 1. Reading Posture, Insight. Keen Observer. Observe. O Insightful Instinct. Dodge más 6. Precision más 6%. Nada, voy a coger... Bestial Strength para el pasivo de daño físico más 1. Y estos son... o puedo coger esto también. Entonces sería... son garras retraíbles que puedo sacar y quitar cuando quiera, como las garras de Wolverine. Y además aumenta la intensidad de sangrado. Vale, ¿qué tienes tú? Overview. Stalwart. Yo tengo Stalwart, sí, yo tengo Stalwart. Entonces él, que ya tiene un huevo de estos, por cierto, él va a tener... Warfare. ¿Tengo Warfare? No, tengo Authority 1. Pues el Warfare. Perks. Stalwart. Stalwart. No. 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 ¿Cuál era? Mi pluma, si no. Mountainborn. Vale, pero no quiero ninguna de esas cosas porque quiero aumentarle la habilidad de armas de esto, porque necesito que tenga más... puede equiparse con armas afiladas más fuertes. Tiene uno de Bladed Weapons, pues le voy a poner 2 de Bladed Weapons. Danza del duelista, Bladed Weapons más 1, precisión más 3 y efecto de sangrado más 1. Tengo Intrigue 2 y él tiene Might 5, ¿sabes? Soy de intriga. Predator's Fury. Dark Power no voy a elegir porque es demasiado OP. Demasiado OP. Es para el vampiro. Aquí soy hombre lobo, no voy a coger el de esto. Además me da 2000 de corrupción. Y la corrupción se ve... Aquí, corrupción. Shapeshifter, vaya. Vale, no tiene ni anillo, ni de esto, ni lo otro. Epa, porque tengo un arco. Porque tengo un arco, porque tengo un arco. Uy, tengo una espada. A ver. 6, 8, 9, 4. Y además 13 de daño y bleeding 3. Y esto 7 y ya está. Vale, pues nada, pues a mí. tengo equipamiento de mujer. Mira el diario de Sil Brownell y la orden de la misiva de luz. Que supongo que podré continuar. O sea, aquí después de completar esta misión, el tío te dice, ya está, lo demás se ocupará la orden de la luz. La orden de la luz. Y como soy inquisidor ahora, pues supongo que podré continuar con la misión. Así que cuando seamos 3, podremos hacer lo de esto. Ahí a veces aparecen aliados, o sea, NPCs, parties de NPCs amistosas, como esta de aquí. Las calaveras ponen la dificultad y luchan aquí contra de estos enemigos.
Your attention is drawn to the innkeeper as she approaches. She has a friendly demeanor, with kind eyes that reflect a life of both hard work and genuine warmth. Welcome back to the Golden Sparrow. How may I assist you this time? She asks with a welcoming smile that immediately puts you at ease. We'd like to rent rooms for a couple of days. The innkeeper, with an efficient yet friendly smile, nods. Of course. We have several lovely rooms available. It's quiet and comfortable, perfect for a good night's rest, she assures you, her tone both welcoming and professional. Each room is furnished to provide the utmost comfort to our guests, with fresh linens and a view of the town or the garden. She reaches beneath the counter and retrieves a set of keys, each attached to a small, carved wooden tag indicating the room number. Her movements are practiced and graceful, a testament to her experience in attending to the needs of weary travelers. Here are your keys, she continues, placing them in your hand with a gentle clink. Breakfast is served in the common room from sunrise until mid-morning. If you need anything during your stay, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you, you say to Olivia, your voice carrying genuine appreciation for her hospitality and efficiency. She responds with a nod and a smile, her demeanor reassuring and professional. Turning to Janice, you see the tired lines etched on his face, a stark reminder of the ordeal he's been through. See you in the morning, you tell him, clapping a hand on his shoulder. Get some rest. We've got a lot to figure out. Janice grunts in agreement, the prospect of a real bed seeming to lift some of the burden from his shoulders. Yeah, see you at sunrise. And thanks, he replies, his usual gruffness softened by the day's events. With a nod to both you and Olivia, he takes his key and heads down the hall to his room. As you watch him go, there's a sense of relief knowing he's safe and within reach. The dangers you've both faced and the uncertainties ahead seem a little less daunting with the knowledge that you're not facing them alone. With a final glance around the welcoming taproom, you turn and make your way to your own room. The key turns smoothly in the lock, and you step inside. The room is exactly as Olivia described, quiet, comfortable, and inviting. Sometime later, you extinguish the candle, leaving the room in darkness save for the moonlight streaming through the window. You slide under the blankets, the softness of the mattress a welcome relief to your weary body. Lying in bed, sleep still eludes you. Your mind, a whirlpool of recent events, refuses to quiet down. As you toss and turn, seeking a fleeting moment of rest, an unexpected sound jolts you to alertness. In the stillness of the night, the creak of the balcony door shatters the silence of your room at the Golden Sparrow Inn. Your heart pounds as you spot a figure cloaked in shadows, advancing with a blade gleaming in the faint moonlight. The silhouette moves with a predatory elegance, swiftly closing in. Moonlight flickers off the cold, metallic blade, a silent omen of impending danger. Your restless night, filled with a barrage of thoughts, kept you on edge. As the assailant advances, Your instincts, sharpened by numerous dangers, spring into action. You roll away just in time, the blade missing its mark by inches. Your heart beats a loud cadence of survival. This unexpected maneuver momentarily unsettles your attacker, giving you a brief opportunity. Your swift counter lands, drawing a pained grunt from the figure as they reel back. Your mind whirls, trying to predict their next attack. They strike again, with lethal precision. You defend yourself, drawing on every bit of your training and instinct. It's a desperate battle for life, every learned skill is now crucial. The blade dances through the air, a deadly ballet. You're locked in a perilous duel, each evasion a temporary reprieve from death's embrace. But you refuse to yield, fighting against the looming peril. As the attacker lunges once more, you parry their strike, narrowly avoiding another potentially lethal blow. Using their momentary overextension, you make a calculated dash towards the nightstand where the room service bell sits. Your movement is swift, driven by a surge of desperation and cunning. You reach out, fingers grasping the small bell, and shake it vigorously. The ringing pierces the tense silence of the room, a sharp, discordant sound that you hope will alert someone, anyone, in the inn. As a brief silence falls, the attacker hesitates, her previously aggressive stance softening. "Till we meet again," she says, her voice a chilling melody that sends a shiver through you. Bathed in moonlight, her features become clearer, revealing her identity. She stands, a mysterious figure shrouded in twilight's embrace. Her long, chestnut hair, touched by the moon's silvery glow, frames a masked face adorned with ornate patterns hinting at ancient lore. Her eyes, a pale blue, reflect a relentless, fierce soul. Dressed in a blend of soft leather and intricate fabric, her attire combines elegance with functionality, indicating a high rank within a legendary guild. Her stance, her gaze, every aspect of her suggests a mastery acquired over many moonlit nights. With a sudden movement, she vanishes. A loud noise marks her exit, and a smoke cloud veils her previous location. You're left with the echo of her parting words, a sense of foreboding, and the knowledge that your paths are destined to intertwine once more. The sudden loud noise and ensuing chaos quickly draw attention. Within moments, the door to your room bursts open, revealing a concerned Olivia, the innkeeper, accompanied by several curious patrons of the Golden Sparrow Inn. Their expressions range from worry to fascination, all eyes intently focused on the disheveled scene. "What in the name of Dry Elon happened here?" Olivia exclaims, quickly scanning the room. Her eyes catch the signs of a recent scuffle, an overturned chair, a dislodged rug, and the lingering aroma of smoke. Olivia steps forward, her look transitioning from worry to an analytical one. "Trouble isn't new to my inn, but this type is unprecedented," she comments, meticulously surveying the room for additional damage or threats. Behind her, the patrons murmur, their intrigue heightened by the night's disturbances. You overhear fragments of their conversations, as they begin to weave speculations and rumors. Olivia addresses the bystanders. "All right, return to your rooms, everyone. There's nothing more to witness here," she orders, guiding them away. Her demeanor is assertive, yet it carries a note of concern, particularly when she looks back at you. "Are you injured?" she inquires, examining you for any wounds. Olivia examines you with a scrutinizing gaze, her eyes searching for any signs of unspoken pain or distress. "Well, you're made of stern stuff," I see, she observes, her tone carrying a mix of admiration and concern. She moves around the room, subtly checking for any hidden dangers or lingering threats from your unexpected encounter. Still, she adds, turning back to face you, if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. The golden sparrow is known for its hospitality, after all. Olivia nods in response, pleased to see her hospitality appreciated. You're welcome. Just ring the bell if you need anything, she says, pointing towards a small bell on the bedside table. With a final reassuring smile, she exits the room, closing the door gently behind her. As the door closes behind Olivia, the silence of the room quickly envelopes you. The adrenaline from the encounter with the mysterious assailant begins to ebb away, replaced by a creeping exhaustion. Your mind replays the events of the night, the sudden attack, the assailant's haunting words, and her abrupt disappearance. Questions swirl in your mind, but they are gradually overshadowed by the weariness that grips your body. You find solace in the bed, allowing the fatigue to take over, your consciousness drifting into the realm of sleep. The events of the night fade into the background as you surrender to the much-needed rest. The next morning, the first rays of sunlight filter through the window, stirring you awake. As you sit up, rubbing the sleep from your eyes, you notice something unusual, a note placed on your bedside stand. Picking it up, you read the cryptic message, I know who attacked you. Meet me in the deranged hermit at dusk. A chill runs down your spine. Who could have left this note? And how did they enter your room without waking you? The possibility of it being a trap crosses your mind, but then why not just attack you in your sleep? Why this elaborate invitation? And, most importantly, where is this place? Return to the world map. The Golden Sparrow's taproom is filled with the lively hum of conversation and the clinking of glasses, a stark contrast to the tension-filled air between you and Janice. Seated at a corner table with mugs of ale, you recount the harrowing encounter with the mysterious assassin to Janice. His reaction is immediate and visceral. By the gods! Someone dared to attack you in your sleep. Janice exclaims, his voice a mix of outrage and concern. His hand instinctively clenches into a fist, as if ready to confront the assailant right then and there. We should be out there, turning over every stone, smashing a few skulls if we must, to find who's responsible for this. Before he can work himself into further fury, you interject, pulling the mysterious note from your pocket. There's more, you say, unfolding the note and laying it on the table. I know who attacked you. Meet me in the deranged hermit at dusk. What attack? Jocelyn's question cuts through the conversation. She has approached the table unannounced, her presence a welcome addition to the discussion. Jocelyn returns the hug, a momentary pause in her posture conveying her appreciation for the gesture. She steps back, a soft smile playing on her lips, yet there's a hint of melancholy in her eyes. I'll tell you about it later, she responds, suggesting layers of experience that went beyond a simple visit. After the warm embrace with Jocelyn, you turn to introduce her to Janice, who has been watching the exchange with a knowing smirk. Janice, this is Jocelyn. We've been traveling together, you say, the smile in your voice mirroring the one on your face. Janice extends his hand towards Jocelyn, his expression a mix of curiosity and amusement. Pleased to meet you, Jocelyn, he says in a friendly tone. As he shakes her hand, his gaze shifts back to you, and his eyebrow arches slightly, a silent but clear acknowledgement of the chemistry he's observed. He chooses not to comment, but his smirk says it all. Jocelyn returns the handshake, a hint of shyness appearing briefly as she notices Janice's amused observation. She takes her seat, and the three of you gather around the table, momentarily distracted from the pressing matters at hand by this new introduction. So, about this note and our rendezvous at the Deranged Hermit, Janice says, redirecting the focus to the matter at hand. It's going to be a tricky situation. We need a plan. As you recount the recent events to Jocelyn, the unexpected attack by the unknown assailant and the mysterious note leading to the Deranged Hermit, her response is instinctive and striking. Her eyes, typically a calm yellow-brown reminiscent of autumn leaves, momentarily shift into a vibrant, almost luminous yellow. Her expression a mix of worry, protectiveness, and an instinctive readiness. An attack? On you? She asks, her voice laced with alarm and a protective edge. The way she leans closer, her gaze locked onto yours, conveys a deep sense of urgency and care. There's a primal, almost feral, aspect to her concern. Jocelyn's expression softens, though her eyes still hold a hint of the vibrant yellow that flared up moments ago. We'll uncover the truth together, she states, determination replacing her initial shock. I'm with you every step of the way. You nod in appreciation of her support, then turn to address the practical matter at hand. Does either of you know this place? You ask, glancing from Jocelyn to Janice, referring to the Deranged Hermit. Jocelyn shakes her head slightly, her expression thoughtful. I've heard of it, but never been there. It's not exactly the kind of place you visit for leisure, she says, her tone indicating a mix of curiosity and caution. So, it's an ill-reputed establishment, Janice replies, his face betraying neither surprise nor concern. Yes, I gathered as much. You look from Janice to Jocelyn. It might be wise to enter with a plan and keep an eye out for trouble. Janice nods his agreement. That sounds about right, he says, a note of caution in his voice. We can't know who to expect, but it's most likely an ambush. As the three of you are engaged in your discussion, Olivia, the innkeeper, approaches your table with her usual brisk efficiency. She pauses for a moment, observing the group. Ah, I see you found your friends, Janice and... She trails off, eyeing Jocelyn with a momentary flicker of confusion. Her gaze suggests she's trying to reconcile the person in front of her with the description she'd received of Claire. Should I bring you anything, Claire? Olivia asks, deciding to disregard the discrepancy. She seems to chalk up the difference to a mere misunderstanding or perhaps assumes you have multiple friends with similar features. Jocelyn, caught off guard by being mistaken for Claire, exchanges a quick, puzzled glance with you. Oh, no, I'm not Claire. I'm Jocelyn, she corrects gently, a polite smile on her face. Olivia, realizing her mistake, chuckles softly and shakes her head. My apologies, Jocelyn. It's been a busy night. Can I get anything for the three of you? Olivia pauses, her expression turning more serious. The Deranged Hermit, and... Yes, I know of it. It's over in the shanty town, not the kind of place our regulars here would frequent, she explains. It's got a bit of a reputation, you see. A den for the less savory types, thieves, cutthroats, prostitutes and the like. Janice listens intently, his eyes narrowing slightly. Sounds like just the place we might find some answers, he mutters under his breath. Janice sets his empty glass down with a decisive clink. Let's get to it, he responds, his voice carrying a hint of his usual resolve mixed with a cautious edge. There's a readiness in his posture, a clear indication of his preparedness for whatever challenges lie ahead. Jocelyn nods in agreement, her earlier concerns now replaced by a look of determination. Yes, let's go. We have a mystery to unravel, she says, her tone firm. The three of you stand up, gathering any belongings you brought along. The taproom of the Golden Sparrow, with its lively chatter and warm atmosphere, fades into the background as you step towards the door. The night outside awaits, its shadows holding both risk and opportunity. Return to the world map.
Vale, quanto levo do capítulo 55 minutos. Vale, pues hasta aquí este capítulo. Soy Sevedat y nos vemos en un próximo directo vídeo. Chao.